It was already quite far away from me and it was already moving on. So straight away I was like, how do I don't think I even considered that someone might come and find me. I kind of felt like it was my responsibility to get back to the ferry myself. So I guess I tried to swim after it, although the sea was so rough. It wasn't really swimming, it was just kind of not drowning. The waves were big, the sea was so big, and I was just this tiny little thing in the dark, on my own. And I remember the wind as well. I could feel the wind, because obviously my body was under the water, but my head was above. And I could feel the cold wind like going across my face. And just trying to keep from going under, but it was getting more and more difficult. And I was spending more and more time kind of being knocked under the water and trying to pull myself back up again. And after a while, I genuinely had fully got to the point where I was like, right, that's it. I'm going to die. There is no way out of this. And the worst thing about it was the fact that I was on my own, and it was happening to me on my own. No, at that point, yes, my friends knew that I'd fallen off, but at that point, nobody, my family didn't know where I was, my mum didn't know where I was. Nobody that I really, really, really cared about was there with me at that time, and that was the worst part about it. I was on my own. I was terrified, absolutely terrified, but the whole time I was just trying to think, what can I do? So at first, what can I do so that I don't end up drowning? And then once I'd kind of not necessarily accepted, but realised that that was a very high possibility, what can I do to make it better for myself, in a way? Which sounds ridiculous, because how can you ever make that situation better? But what can I do so it's not as terrible as it could be? So it was just trying to keep myself above the water, keep myself alive, keep myself afloat. And once the ferry had gone on to the point where I knew I was never going to catch it, I thought, well, I'll pick a direction and just swim, try and swim that way, just so I'm not just here on my own, drowning. I know how lucky I was, but I've never really thought, like, how long did I have left? Probably not long at all. By the time I was found, I was definitely getting to the point where I was spending more time under the water than above it. So I probably wasn't. Probably not long at all. I've never thought about that.